Hello, everyone. I am back with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. Thank you for staying connected with me and for continuing to listen to my podcast. My friends, when I look at this world, when I observe everything that's happening in this world, I feel that there is tremendous sadness and worry in this world right now. And it's not just in the United States, but in many other places around the globe. People are sad, people are worried. In this day and age, with so much of technological advancement, people are still hungry. People still suffer because of hunger. There are many in this world who go to bed at night hungry, and they wake up with no hope of getting good nutrition. Why is this happening? There are many children who are suffering because they don't have access to good food. There are many senior citizens who are suffering because of the same reason. There is food insecurity in this world, and that's a real problem. With all the wealth in the world, people are still facing economic uncertainty, and many families are struggling to put food on the table. Why is this happening? That's the question. Why is this happening? The world, I believe, has changed a lot since 2020. The world will never be the same again, and a lot of people that I've talked to, many say that life is now looked at as pre and post COVID. 2019, the world was a different place. With the COVID outbreak of 2020, the world changed forever. And in 2019, there were problems. There were lots of problems in this world, but there was hope. And then since 2020, this world seems to have descended into a dark dungeon of hopelessness. Now, that may not be the case for everyone. Obviously, it's not the case with every person. There are many who are doing well. They're making money. They are being successful, they are enjoying prosperity, and they have food security, they have economic security. But there are many others in this world who feel hopeless because of everything that they have faced since 2020. And I think that since 2020, the reason why people's lives have changed so much, it's because of the virus, obviously, but in many cases, more than the virus, the government policies of shutdown and lockdown have hurt people. The coronavirus hurt people, there's no doubt about that. But in many places, the government policies, all the mandates, all the restrictions, everything from social distancing to capacity limits to shutdowns and stay-at-home orders and lockdowns, all of those policies have really hurt people. And because of many of these policies, many businesses came to a screeching halt. Economic progress was prevented because of these massive government policies, harmful government policies. A lot of people were making good progress in life, in business, but that progress came to a stop because of government policies. And people start facing losses in business. And people continue to suffer. Even today, people are suffering because of bad government policies that were implemented and enforced in 2020 and in 2021, in the years of COVID. And here in America, I've talked a lot about the harmful government policies that really hurt many businesses, many small businesses, many family-owned businesses here in the United States. And if you have read my writings, if you have listened to my podcast episodes that I published in 2020, 2021, 2022, if you have listened to those episodes, if you have read my writings, then you know that I was against, and I am still against, this mask mandate. I am against vaccine mandate. I am against shutdowns and lockdowns. I believe in freedom. I believe that people should be able to live their lives the way they want. And hardworking Americans should not be stopped by government when they are going to work, when they are running their business. The government has no right to stop a person from going to work. The government has no right to order a business owner to shut down his business. But that's what happened. We know that. If we go back and look at the policies that were implemented by different government agencies in different parts of the country, there were stay-at-home orders, there were orders to shut down businesses, there were orders to enforce capacity limits in restaurants, for example. And all of those policies really severely hurt businesses. Those policies hurt the American people. And as I said, not just in the United States, there are many other countries around the world where government entities enforced different kinds of rules during COVID outbreak. And because of those rules, people still suffer, because those rules hurt their businesses, hurt their investments, and people are still facing losses and economic uncertainty as a result of many of those policies implemented back then. And let me just talk about California now, for example. California is one of those states where we see many bad government policies in states like California and New York. And so if you look at the recent reports, you'll see that people are leaving California. People are also leaving New York City. Now, what's common in these two places, the state of California and New York City? What's common? Liberal leaders. California has lots and lots of left-wing leaders in positions of power who have a socialist mindset, and they implement policies that restrict people's freedom. And it's the same case in New York City. Democrat policies are hurting businesses and hurting Americans. As socialists and left-wing activists run government agencies and run government offices in a state like California, hardworking Americans decide to leave the state and to go find better places. People are leaving California because hunger and homelessness keep growing. I was talking about hunger at the very beginning of this episode. Food insecurity is a real problem. And homelessness, food, clothing, shelter. I talked about these basic necessities in life. And there are many homeless people in California, and the number is actually growing. And so a lot of hardworking Americans are making the decision to leave California and to find a better place where they can live happily, raise a family, and work and try to achieve prosperity. In liberal cities and states, the government keeps imposing taxes and fees. These are just ways the government takes money from hardworking Americans. And in liberal areas, the government does not protect property rights. In California, businesses are dealing with thefts and robbery. There are many cases. If you just do a search on the internet, you'll see many cases of theft, burglary, robbery happening in California. And so in a state like that, when people see that there's a public safety crisis and that their properties are not being protected and that government is taking more and more money from their pockets, but the government is not fulfilling its responsibility to provide safety, public safety, then what do? People decide to leave a state like California so that they can go find a better place where they can live happily, work, and raise a family, as I already mentioned. Reportedly, the state of California may lose 5 House seats in 2030 because population estimates show that people are leaving that state. People are leaving California. People have every right to find a better life, a better place to raise a family. In California, the liberal politicians are not solving the problems, but they are actually adding more and more problems. And their bad policies and decisions are making things worse for the hardworking people living in California. And that's why a lot of California residents are deciding to leave the state and to go find a better city, a better state where they can be happy. Overall, when you look at what's happening in the country, I think you can draw the conclusion that the country right now is on the wrong track. The U.S. national debt is a key indicator that tells you the state of the union. What's the condition that our economy is in? How is it looking? U.S. national debt has hit a scary milestone. It has grown to over $33 trillion. $33 trillion. The U.S. national debt has increased and it has crossed the scary milestone of $33 trillion. And the question now is, can this debt be reduced? Can we go from $33 trillion of debt down to 30 trillion and down to 25 trillion? Is it even possible to reduce the debt so that it's no longer 33 trillion? It goes down to 30, and then to 25, and then to 20, and then to 15, and then to 10. Is it possible? That's the question, my friends. Our debt keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. The question is, where do we go from here? The debt keeps growing. How more is it going to grow? I don't know. I guess that's the good question that somebody should ask the presidential candidates. That reminds me, my friends, there is a GOP presidential debate coming up very soon. September 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California. That's when the debate will be, and that's the location. Now, who's going to be on stage for the debate? former President Donald Trump, who is the Republican frontrunner right now, he is expected to skip the debate. Based on the reports that I have seen, Donald Trump is likely not going to be participating in that debate. He has decided not to participate in the second GOP presidential debate that's going to be taking place on September 27th, as I said, in Simi Valley, California. I know that other GOP candidates are probably very eager to debate Mr. Trump, but Mr. Trump, as the reports tell me right now, Mr. Trump may skip this debate. Reportedly, former President Trump will be at a different event in Detroit, Michigan that night. The night of the debate, or it may not be night, it may be, I don't know, afternoon, evening. I don't know. Details are to be determined. I guess I'm paying attention to the news, but based on what I'm reading right now, Mr. Trump is going to be at a different location. He's going to be in Detroit, Michigan on the 27th of September. Do we know for sure who the candidates on the stage will be? I think we have to wait to find out. I'm guessing that the Republican National Committee will announce very soon the names of the candidates who are going to be on the debate stage on September 27th. My friends, this is all for today. Share with me your thoughts. Share with me your thoughts about the economy. Share with me your thoughts about the national debt and the presidential debate that's coming up. And share with me your thoughts about the 2024 election cycle overall. Thank you for staying connected with me. Please visit my website, tossofanam.net. Send me a message. Find me on social media. And I want to thank you all for continuing to listen to my podcast. And also, please don't forget to sign up for my e-newsletter. Thank you, my friends. I hope to be back again with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.